You can't fight someone who walks around at 12-3, boiling him down to 160. Before, you would have fought him at 157.
Did you invite him when you spoke to him?
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He said the fight isn't going to happen.
Well, would the public be interested in such a fight? Unfortunately, because promoters have been constantly rinsing the public with these fights, which actually are about names, not about abilities. So, they would take an interest in this fight.
Chris Eubank Sr. didn't hold back when he criticized Conor Benn for wanting to fight his son, Chris Eubank Jr. He said that Eubank Jr. shouldn't fight Benn. Eubank Sr. strongly disagrees with the planned fight, saying it could be very dangerous. He is worried that Eubank Jr.'s weight loss for the fight could put his life at risk. Eubank Sr. explained that his son is trying to drop just under 160 lbs, which he believes is unsafe. He reminded everyone of the dangers of extreme weight loss in boxing, mentioning past deaths, and saying he won't let his son take such risks. Eubank Sr. also questioned why Conor Benn wants the fight, suggesting that Benn might be doing it to get back at Eubank for his father's losses. He told Benn to focus on his own career and not make it about Chris Eubank Jr. Eubank Sr. also criticized the promoters and managers involved, accusing them of caring more about money than the safety of the fighters. He made it clear that he will protect his son, even if it means speaking out against the fight.
You can't fight someone who walks around at 12-3, boiling him down to 160. Before, you would have fought him at 157. He would have lost his life that night, which is why that fight didn't happen, and why it's being boycotted. Whoever's giving you this view that you have, you've discarded your entire career for Chris Eubank Jr. Who is that? Is it just your dad who wants to win over me? Or is it someone else in your team? Who juiced you up if you were juiced up? What happened, Conor?
Despite all the back and forth in the media, Eubank Sr. knows just how dangerous Conor Benn can be in the ring, especially for his own son. He's not underestimating Conor, and he's aware of how dangerous the fighter is, even if Conor may have lost some of his previous strength. Eubank Sr. wants to make it clear that his criticism isn't about his son, but about the situation itself. His main concern is to make sure his son isn't pushed into a fight that could cause more harm than good. As a father, his instinct is to protect his child. Eubank Sr. understands how brutal the sport can be. He hopes the fight never happens. Not because he doesn't trust his son's abilities, but because he knows how dangerous the consequences can be. Eubank Sr. respects the sport and his son's career, but he wants to see his son succeed without putting everything at risk in a fight that could be too dangerous.
Chris Eubank Jr. was a fantastic fighter, is a fantastic fighter, but he's too heavy. Okay, he is a 168-pound fighter. For him to get down to 160 now is too much for him. So Conor would be fighting someone who has lost his punch resistance, which was proven with this Mr. Smith. Again, I don't talk against my son. I'm there to protect him because I know how dangerous this young man is in Conor Benn. I know how dangerous he is. 147 fights 147. Leave Junior alone.
Chris Eubank Sr. has shown strong support for Conor Benn, making it clear that he believes in Conor's incredible potential as a fighter. Eubank Sr. thinks Conor is an amazing talent who has the ability to beat anyone in the ring. His faith in Conor's skills is clear as he stands behind him, not just as a fan, but as someone who knows the sport well. Eubank Sr. pointed out that he has been around fighters for many years and knows what it takes to succeed at the highest level. This is why he's confident that Conor has what it takes to go all the way. He also emphasized the importance of trust in both the sport and relationships. Eubank Sr. told Conor that he knows the people around him and understands the situation, but he wants Conor to trust him because he has only his best interests at heart. Even though Eubank Sr. knows that some negative things may have been said about him, he assured Conor that he holds no grudges. He said that despite any past misunderstandings or harsh words, he will always support Conor. Eubank Sr. made it clear that his advice will always be honest and never meant to mislead Conor. He knows Conor's father and has watched Conor's journey, which is why he's confident in what he says. What matters most to Eubank Sr. is that Conor's career is a successful one, and he will always be there to support him, no matter what.
Let Conor go and have his illustrious career here in the United Kingdom and then in the United States, because he beats them all. That's how fantastic I think he is. I've always backed you, Conor. I've always backed you. Okay? You're sensible. If it's true that you've said things about me which are not complimentary, I don't mind that. I'm looking at the people that you're around. Here it is. You know the spirit world. That's how I know you're an honest man. The people around you are part of a gang. It's a team thing. You're the mark. Okay? The only person who's going to look out for you is you, supposed to be your dad, and people like me. You can trust me. Yeah, you've seen me get up in a fight I can't win and walk back into the fire. You can trust me. I'm not going to give you I'm not going to mislead you. You know, I'm a lawman.
The tension between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn is not just about the two fighters. It goes much deeper and involves their fathers as well. The bad blood between the two families dates back to several events that have only made things worse. One key moment happened at a press conference when Conor Benn's father, Nigel Benn, put his arm around Eubank Jr., but ended up grabbing him by the throat. This physical altercation sparked strong feelings and became a symbol of the growing tension between the two families. On the other hand, Chris Eubank Sr. has always supported Conor Benn throughout his career, even when things weren't going well between the two fathers. Though Eubank Sr. has never publicly confronted or criticized Conor Benn, his support for Benn instead of his own son in some cases has caused tension. The strained relationship between Eubank Sr. and Eubank Jr. added to the drama, with Eubank Jr. wanting to reconcile with his father, even though their issues remain a painful reality. The disagreement between the two fathers, combined with the physical confrontation between Nigel Benn and Eubank Jr., made the rivalry worse. Eubank Jr. even warned Conor Benn's father that if he touched him again, there would be serious consequences. This only made the situation more intense, with Conor Benn growing frustrated by the ongoing drama. In an interview with Piers Morgan, Conor Benn showed how frustrated he was with the ongoing tension and the complicated relationships between the families. The rivalry between Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn is no longer just about the two fighters. It's become a battle between their fathers, with each of them taking sides and making the situation worse in different ways. Eubank Jr. loves and respects his father, but their complicated relationship continues to affect both their personal and professional lives. Despite all the anger and frustration, both men want reconciliation and healing, though it seems that the road to it will be long and difficult.
Your dad intervened with the egg throwing and put his arm, I think, on your throat. And at the second press conference, you basically threatened Nigel Benn. Said if he did that again, you deal with him. And
it wasn't a threat, it was a promise.
Oh, it's not a promise, is it?
You can't touch
scumbag.
You can't
What we
touch
did. What we
you
did.
can throw an egg in his face and his father can't.
No,
Me and him are
just
fighting.
upset. You're just upset.
Me and
your
you are
dad
fighting.
Can't stand you. And
I'm
my
not
dad has
upset.
my back. You are. That's all that
I'm not
was.
upset.
My dad put
Me
his
and you
arms
are fighting.
around
Whatever
you.
happens
What are you
between
gonna do about it?
us
My dad put his arms around you.
happens.
What are you going to do about it?
No one
What are you
else-
going to do about it? Tell me.
no one else can touch
Tell
me.
me. Tell
And
me.
if they do, there'll be
Tell me.
consequences.
Consequences to what?
If
What,
anyone
I was to
else-
slap you right now?
if
What,
anyone-
I was to slap you
if
right now?
anyone
What are you
else
gonna do?
touches me.
What if I was to slap you right now? What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, go on, go ahead.
Yeah, talk about my dad.
I'm not talking
Talk
about your
my
dad.
No,
But I
you
told
talk-
him.
Yeah, but
I
you should-
told
you should
him.
Get off me, please. I won't
My
do
old man
nothing.
would
I won't
never
do
touch
nothing.
you, so your old man's never going to touch
I'll
me.
never slap you.
You
I
would
will
never slap me.
Yeah, no, I won't
You
slap
put your
you.
hands on me twice since my last fight.
When?
You pushed me.
Push, a little push.
Yeah,
and
it
stuff.
doesn't
Stop
matter. You
moaning
put your
about it.
hands on me.
Little push and stuff.
You
Stop moaning
put your
about it.
hands on me.
Stop moaning about it. Little push and shove. Stop moaning about it. Talk about my dad.
You put your hands on me, I put my hands on you.
I'll
Now
never
we're even.
disrespect your dad. Do
Yes, you
understand?
would. You disrespected him before.
What? The fact that he don't like you? It's a matter of fact.
Okay, well,
That's
it's
a matter
disrespect.
of fact. How's that
You
disrespect?
can't give it and not take it.
You fucked up by talking about my dad. You done fucked up
You
talking
fucked up
about my
touching
dad.
me, and you fucked up by taking this fight.
Yeah.
That's right.
In a recent interview, Chris Eubank Jr. was asked if his father, Chris Eubank Sr., would be attending his upcoming fight on April 26th. Eubank Jr. expressed doubt, saying, "No, like I said, I haven't heard from him since that day, so I'm not confident about anything, but I will try my best to make it happen." When asked if he had invited his father to the fight, Eubank Jr. confirmed he did. But his father's response was far from supportive. Eubank Jr. explained that his father made it clear he didn't think the fight should happen. He said his father's statement, "The fight isn't going to happen," revealed a disconnect between them. Eubank Jr. seems confused and frustrated by his father's refusal to acknowledge the fight, even though he tried to involve him in his career. This comment from Eubank Sr. shows that he is strongly opposed to the fight, likely due to concerns about the dangers or problems it could bring. Eubank Jr.'s uncertainty highlights the emotional strain in their relationship, as he wants his father's support both personally and professionally. In short, this exchange reveals the deeper tensions between the two Eubanks. It seems that Eubank Sr. doesn't believe the fight should happen, which frustrates his son, who struggles to understand why his father would try to stop such an important moment in his career.
Did you invite him when you spoke to him?
Yep.
And what did he say?
He said the fight isn't going to happen.
Why not? Why does he feel that way?
You know, your guess is as good as mine, buddy. It's, it sounds crazy, but at the same time, he said the same thing before the last fight. So it's like, I can't even call it crazy now because it did happen the first time.
Chris Eubank Jr. shared his thoughts on his father's stance regarding his upcoming fight, expressing confusion and frustration. He acknowledged that it might seem crazy, but his father had said the same thing before his last fight, and despite the doubts, that fight still happened. However, this time, Eubank Jr. believes it's almost impossible for the fight to happen, though he admitted that nothing is truly impossible. Even though his father refuses to support the fight, Eubank Jr. feels his father should still be offering his support. He understands that his father is dealing with personal struggles and mental barriers that prevent him from fully accepting the situation. Eubank Jr. seems to be taking a compassionate approach, suggesting that the way forward isn't to force his father to support him, but to help him work through whatever emotional or mental issues are holding him back. Despite the tension, it's clear that Eubank Jr. still wants reconciliation and hopes to help his father overcome his internal struggles.
The first time, but it's just not going to happen this time. It's impossible, virtually impossible. Nothing's impossible, but it's virtually impossible. And, you know, even if that was his mindset, I feel like he should still be, you know, supporting. But he has this mental block about this whole thing. I don't know why. It's you know, it's obviously just something. He's got his demons. He's fighting, and he's got something in his mind that he can't get over. And you know, I don't know. I got to just try and help him through it, I guess.
Chris Eubank Sr. expressed his confusion and disappointment over his son's behavior, especially regarding the incident where Eubank Jr. smashed an egg in Conor Benn's face. Eubank Sr. said, "This wasn't the kind of behavior he understood or supported, especially since he was supposed to be a role model for his son." Eubank Sr. later spoke with Eubank Jr., who explained that the action came from the intense pressure surrounding the fight promotion. Eubank Jr. told his father he felt cornered by outside pressures, including the belief that Ben was a cheat. He admitted that the egg incident was planned, driven by the feeling that he was being pushed into a corner by the people around him. Eubank Jr. justified his actions by saying he felt isolated and believed his father wasn't supporting him. In his mind, the egg incident was a way to assert himself. Eubank Sr. seemed to understand the emotional stress his son was going through, but still couldn't fully understand why he would act in such a way. Eubank Jr. also mentioned that Ben allegedly had some connection to chemicals related to eggs, which added to his decision to take such drastic action. Despite Eubank Jr.'s explanation, Eubank Sr. remained concerned about both the incident and his son's behavior.
This is not the behavior I understand. Where did that come from? You know, I'm supposed to be his example. But I spoke with him a few days ago, and he said to me about this egg thing. He said, "Dad, he's a cheat." Okay, and you know, we're promoting the fight, and these people have me under a great deal of pressure, and the environment is very messy, and I got pulled in. in doing that, you know, yes, I premeditated it because these people are all over me telling me that my dad doesn't like me. It's me alone, Dad. So, you know, that's what I thought I'd do, and, you know, and I've justified it. You know, he supposedly had some type of chemical which is born of eggs, and...
Chris Eubank Sr. has made it clear that his son, Chris Eubank Jr., will never truly be a champion if he only focuses on the titles and belts he earns. Eubank Sr. believes a real champion isn't defined by trophies or titles, but by the love and respect they receive from others. He thinks being a champion is about more than personal success. It's about how others see you, connect with you, and how you impact the world around you. A true champion makes people feel something, beyond just winning fights. Eubank Sr.'s words seem to be a critique of his son's current mindset. He suggests that Eubank Jr. is too focused on material things like accolades and recognition, rather than the deeper qualities that make someone truly great. In a way, Eubank Sr. feels his son hasn't fully understood what it means to be a real champion, something that goes beyond just winning titles. Eubank Sr.'s actions, especially in trying to prevent the fight between his son and Conor Benn, show his thoughts on his son's potential. It's clear that Eubank Sr. doesn't believe his son is ready to achieve greatness on his own terms. He's working hard to stop the fight, suggesting he doesn't think his son is prepared or deserving of facing Benn. This could reflect his doubts about his son's abilities to succeed at the highest level. In this sense, Eubank Sr.'s actions and words show that he lacks faith in his son's potential to reach the greatness that he himself once achieved. This complicated father-son dynamic adds more tension to their strained relationship, with Eubank Sr. trying to protect his son from what he believes could be a fight that ruins his chances of becoming a true champion.
Will your son ever be champion?
As long as he thinks it's about the belts he has around his waist, no, he'll never be a champion. It's only about how people feel about you. Are you loved? Muhammad Ali, loved. Jack Johnson, loved. Joe Louis, loved. Standard bearers. That's who I am. I'm the last in the line of the greats. I am GOAT. Oh, just in case you don't know the acronym, greatest of all time. Period. I cannot be challenged. No one would have the gall, the brazenness to sit in a room with me and speak to me about boxing. I'm the king.
This is it for today's video. Stay tuned for the next one.